going live like 20 seconds early or whatever. Whoa. Alright gamers, we're live. I've notified the socials. Time to wait for people to show up. Oh, excuse me. Got a little bit of space there. There we go. That looks better. Wow, I'm just like not talking right now, huh? Alright, don't worry, I'm still here. Just checking some messages. I think we're good. Just waiting for people to show up. I'll talk about the list, I guess, in the meantime. Aethersdrift is out. There's some cards to try. The two that we're trying tonight are Ketramose. Ketramose the New Dawn, I think. Yeah, there we go. A lot of people are excited about this card in a lot of formats. I have my reservations, but I think if this card is good, it's probably kind of nuts. I like a lot about what this card is doing. We'll just have to see if it being 3 mana, doesn't make it unplayable in the end. It's influencing a few card choices, notably Emperor Bones is a very good card with Ketramose because it is a way to get more cards exiled. It is also a way to get cards off of Ketramose, both with right. Let me make sure. Yeah, it gets cards in exile to turn Ketramose on. You draw a card when you exile the cards. You draw a card when the cards get exiled from the finality counter at the end. So these two cards have a lot of synergy together. The other card that I'm playing tonight is Aetherspark, which I know a lot of people have been. When they spoiled that there was going to be an equipment planeswalker, people were really excited about that type line, obviously because of Stoneforge. The one we have, I don't know, it's fine, I think. I think it could just be good enough on rate. We'll see. Some meaningful issues with it are that drawing 2 cards is pretty good, but only really good in matchups where I mostly feel comfortable anyway. But I am really curious how well this card performs, just because it's kind of hard to deal with. If you have any creature to put the Aetherspark onto, it can't be attacked. So. And the +1/+1 counters you get on your creatures are kind of cool. Just pumping up your creatures pretty well, getting counters on the Aetherspark. It's another way to put a +1/+1 counter on Emperor Bones, so you can use that again. There's a little bit of not the easiest thing to use, but I think it could be cool. So I'm gonna try one. We'll see if I like it as a Stoneforge target. I think where it'll be at its best is based, to put it very simply, it's going to be at its best against Swords to Plowshares control decks, which currently don't really exist. Um, but I think it is quite good there because it's the kind of matchup where you really want a card that you can just cast, but it's sometimes hard to get formal wear because all of their removal exiles, so your graveyard isn't necessarily full of stuff to get back with formal wear. Um, so I definitely like Aetherspark in those kind of matchups. Again, not really the time for them right now, but I could see them coming back. Maybe when Microspawn isn't legal anymore, hopefully, at some point. Um, but I'm interested in trying it out. So those are the main two cards. There's a lot of threes here, so I'm not really confident about any of the numbers. Like these three, all of these two drops in particular, all being threes, feels a little awkward, but we'll figure it out. Other than that, nothing really stands out. Just I shaved numbers here and there to make room for the cards I want to play, and that's about it. So we'll see how it goes. One card I kind of wanted to find room for in this list is a Canoptic Scarab Swarm, particularly because of how that card performs with Ketramose. But I couldn't really find room for it. I suspect if you wanted to take this and do that, the Aetherspark is probably the card you should cut. But I just really wanted to play all the Aetherspark cards and get some vibe checks on them real quick. So this is definitely far from an optimized list, just going off vibes. While we're vibing, I will pay my entry fee and we'll get started soon. Yeah, Ketramose Flying Sash definitely sounds like it could be pretty nuts. It is very mana intensive, but I mean, white mana, draw a card, lose a life, repeatable. It's pretty good. Like if you get to that spot, it's pretty nuts. Yeah, I think the things that we'll have to be mindful of are like how often is Ketramose actually a creature you can attack with? How often do I feel like it's not actually, I guess we'll see how often it's not doing anything, you know, right? Like it's one problem with it for sure is that like it's asking your other cards to do things. It itself does not do a whole lot. That's somewhat mitigated by the fact that it is indestructible, so it's not the easiest thing to answer. But it's not impossible either, so we'll see. One other thing you could maybe try to fit in this list is an Ephemerate, because Ephemerate is extremely good with Ketramose, particularly with Solitude. I didn't really feel like I found the room for it, but another card you could definitely try out. So yeah, we'll see. You know, it feels like a running joke that like the last thing D&D needs right now is another 3 mana, a value engine that costs 3 mana, basically. I think Ketramose gets some. I think Ketramose has more promise because it's such a good creature for its rate, and at least the value that you get out of it doesn't cost more mana, I guess. Like, I think it's cool that like you can Ketramose into Solitude, for example, and it's basically like Force of Will with the Beanstalk out, right? And that's kind of cool. Um, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to give it a shot, and I think it's time to get into the queue. Tonight, I'm also going to be doing a play point giveaway. We'll do that after round 2. Yeah, this looks like a D&T hand to me. Nice hand on the play. If my opponent's not playing a creature deck, it's kind of mid, but what D&T 7s in game 1 aren't for the most part. Underground Sea Ponder. Interesting. Hey, Eureka, what's up? How's it going? I am doing pretty well. They do not shuffle. Underground Sea Ponder. I'm going to assume that it's Reanimator, I think. Yeah, I'm going to Stoneforge for Lion's Ash here. If it's not Reanimator, we're fine. I think probably the biggest punish for getting a Lion's Sash is probably Doomsday, since Eureka's here, because we'll really have wanted to get Cauldron then. But only so much you can do. A Bowmasters is milled, so I think our Lion's Sash is safe. Or I should say, I think our Lion's Sash was a fine card to get, is what I mean to say. Could be blue-black tempo. I guess that's kind of what I'm thinking it is right now. It could be Reanimator with some main deck Bowmasters. That isn't totally out of character. Gonna go ahead and put the Lion's Sash in now. Push on the Stoneforge is a little strange. Okay. I should say push on the Stoneforge once it's untapped is a little strange. Thoughtseize. Sure. Probably take Recruiter. Maybe take Swords, depending on what their plan is here. They take Recruiter. Interesting. It feels like they're playing a creature deck, but I guess they haven't put a creature into play, so what do I know? Getting the Recruiter seems a little weird. I wonder if you had Bowmasters. Yeah, it's coming together. It feels a little. Yeah, because since they can just push the Bowmaster, it doesn't totally add up to me, but I don't know. I'm not going to complain. It's possible I wanted to eat a couple spells in case of a Murktide, but I have so many ways to deal with the Murktide right now. I don't think I'm super worried about that. I guess they also know that I have a lot of ways to deal with the Murktide, so not sure which direction that's supposed to push me in. Nile Spellbomb, you got it. Fornia, thank you so much for this 16 months. Hell yeah, thank you. They are exiling my graveyard. I am gonna eat at least a couple things here. Just make this Sash harder to deal with. The stuff's getting exiled anyway, so. Yeah, I'll pass. It's Tameo? Yeah, that's fine. Yep, so this looks like blue-black tempo. Straight up very good matchup, so not feeling too worried at the moment. Now I get to Swords the Tameo and leave my... And I can play Solitude around Daze next turn. I could have maybe Wisped to not really answer the Tameo, but at least make it so Tameo can't attack. But I think I would rather have Wisp around for if the Tameo managed to flip somehow. Yeah, I'm gonna go in for 7. I have lethal next turn. We are testing the Moose. The Moose and the Aetherspark. Unfortunately, the top 16 cards of our library did not have the Kaito. Okay. I can live with a Kaito, I think. They have to stun the Sash. I think I'm gonna Surveil here. Yeah, I've had the Tameo for this before. I would want it, but I don't want it now. This is the first game, so zeros all around the board. All right, Thoughtseize is pretty nice here. Interesting. So we can take a force, play Wisp, surveil again. I have 2 creatures in play that can potentially attack a Kaito. And then I can either waste their waste, or I can actually just reconfigure Sash onto my Wisp, which is kind of hot. Yeah. How's this 9/7 for you, huh? This isn't very good, but it might be good enough just as another threat. But I think I should bottom this when I still have Solitude in my hand, though. Or Bennett. Troll in their hand means they're very likely a reanimate tempo deck, but not full-on reanimator. They drew a land, so they can hold up hardcast force if they want to. Yeah, you got it. You're still dead? Cool. I guess they have to play the Barrowglyph here. But if they play the Barrowglyph, then they're playing into my my Solitude resolves, and then yeah. They technically had another draw step, but I mean, I'm not going to be upset about them just scooping. So, all right. So we got 2 Path of Exiles to bring in. Could maybe bring in Disruptor Flute for Kaito. I feel like the only games that I ever lose to blue black lately are on Kaito. So, I'm not necessarily. Oh, I think my opponent is scooping the match apparently. At least I think they are. They just chatted as implying that they are, but they haven't yet. So I'm just gonna. All right, there we go. They were just off it. Oh well. All right, record is officially 1-1, 1-0, sort of. So yeah, I think the only question there for the sideboarding was going to be whether I want 1 White Orchid Phantom versus 1 Disruptor Flute, and I think I honestly might take keep the Disruptor Flute, because Kaito is really the only card I'm that afraid of out of blue black. So. And White Orchid Phantom is not completely dead, but like pretty close to it. Yeah, free play points on the DB account for sure. Alright, cool. Let's get into it. Oh, Magic Dads is only a Reanimator player, basically. I mean, it's a pretty good hand against Reanimator. For game one, anyway. Yeah, just take the Reanimate, I guess. Unfortunately, if we get Unmask therapied, then it's going to look pretty bad, but that's how it goes. Alright, get one more turn at least. And at least Grizzlebrand is the likely card getting reanimated. I'm just going to Flash this in now, and then let the therapy do what it's going to do. Okay, yeah, I think Swords to Plowshares or Solitude are the two cards you're supposed to name. I am glad that they didn't unmask first, because then my Solitudes would be gone, but alright, we'll get a Lion Sash, force him to unmask me. Bummer. Whoa. Entomb for flashback Faithless looting? Huh. Something seems off here. I guess they're desperate to dig for a reanimation spell because they can't win otherwise. I guess that's the reality. So Grizzlebrand's gone. They could. I guess they're probably Arconing, maybe. They can't really Grizzlebrand into Orcish Bowmasters, so unmask me. Yep. They take the Lion Sash. Okay. That's what's going on. Got it. Let's get a... Oh, right. Graveyard Order. Of course. Of course, Graveyard Order. Alright, so they just destroy both our hands, but that works for me. Ooh. Well, this will be interesting. Nowhere close to attacking or blocking, but... Yeah, alright. Cool. Winning game one against Reanimator. That doesn't happen too often. As usual against Black Red Reanimator, boarding in like the entire sideboard. Definitely not an Aetherspark matchup. But all the other equipment are good for the most part. Not really. It's definitely not a Skyclave matchup. Not a White Orchid matchup. Don't really want the Ketramoses either. think I just need my cards to do things. Alright, I usually cut like one land because the games are a lot quicker. And I probably want to cut like one Bowmaster maybe. Bowmaster is like really only that good against Grizzlebrand. I could also cut an Emperor Bones because these Reanimator lists really don't pass the turn with a creature, with like a big creature in their yard for the most part. You think cutting an untapped land is better than cutting Backstreet number 2? That's honestly a very good question that I haven't thought about since the Surveil lands came into the deck. I think probably... I think I would say that because of how scrappy the games tend to get against Reanimator when you don't have a ley line, because sometimes you just have to keep a non-ley line hand, I think the extra Surveil effect is pretty important for those kind of games. I think it's a very good question though. Yeah, we're gonna roll with this. I'm doing good. 1-0 in the league, 1-0 in the match. It's a good start. Ketramose has entered play once, and then my opponent conceded, but it was not related to Ketramose at all. It's a hell of a leyline hand. Oh boy. I mean, I can cast anything off the top of my deck, right? And I have Caracas for a Grizzlebrand. I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, and we do have two Surveils. I think this is honestly not as embarrassing as it looks. Maybe with Ketramose and Thraben Charm. I don't really like Thraben Charm at all. I don't want my removal to be conditional is really the big problem. I think Aetherspark is cool. I haven't put it into play yet, but it's an interesting card. I hope to get it into play soon. Show and Tell and Sneak Attack. Whoa. Okay. Well, I think I get rid of the Sneak Attack then, right? And very suspiciously leave them with a Show and Tell they can cat. Well, yeah. I feel like I have to take the Sneak Attack and like let them Show and Tell Grizzlebrand draw 7. I guess I could just take the Grizzlebrand here, which is the probably actually the smart play that I'm just being dumb about because my current Thoughtseize hand is blocking, is like making me forget that I have a ley line in play. So yeah, I just take the Grizzlebrand. Will I? Ketramose is in my list. The stream decker will show you the deck list that I'm playing. I sided out Ketramose for this matchup, but it is in my deck. Well, I don't really need that. I think I'm surveilling here instead of playing Sash. No more lands, thank you. Just what I need. I'm going to play the Caracas here. I'm just going to wisp my Surveil. I got to find cards that do anything. That's a card that does anything. Yeah, we got Leyline redundancy. Exactly what we need. It's a lot of ancient tombs. I'm gonna go ahead and recruit a Solitude here. Yeah. Imagine if they cast Fatty off 2 or 3 Ancient Tomb. I mean, they have a Dark Ritual in hand. They could do it. That's the craziest part. They've interestingly left themselves without any blue sources for show and tell, but bummer. Okay. All right. Well, still no. I'm so good at this. All right. Here's lethal. Okay. Well, I said I was gonna do a play point giveaway after 2 matches. I didn't think those 2 matches would take like 20 minutes, but here we are. Yeah, it took me a minute to realize that taking the Grizzlebrand is just correct. I was just being dumb. All right. Anyway, I am a member of the Daybreak Games MTGO creator program, which means that I get some play point codes to give away to all y'all for watching my stream. Thank you for doing that, by the way. When I put this command in, you're going to type the word Ketramose into chat, at which point you'll be entered into a giveaway for a code for 120 play points for Magic: The Gathering Online. Please only enter if you have an account with which to use those points, or if you have a friend who will take them too. Either of those are totally fine. Go away. Do not put an exclamation point. Just the word Ketramose. When my system clock here reads 9:10, I will pull a winner. Hope you're all doing good. Hey, what's up? Good games. That was I expected the show and tell on the post board, but that was the first time I'd seen Sneak Attack, and it took me a second to like really like to process that was a thing you could do. Yeah, there was like so easy for that Thoughtseize in game 1 to like get outdrawn, but just having to entomb for a faithless looting is definitely a sign of of what your draws looked like. Yeah. All right, I got 1 more minute. If you would like to enter a play point code giveaway, type Ketramose into chat. As soon as I see 9:10 on my system clock, I will end the giveaway. I forgot to start music. Oh my gosh. I'm going to do that right now. All right, cool. There we go. Music's on. And it's 9:10. There we go. And the winner, Magic Dad. All right, I will give you a quick DM on Twitch with one of these codes right here. Give me one moment. All right, I have given you a whisper for a playpoint code. Yeah, paid actor confirmed. It's only fair, right? All right, let's get into it. Yeah, sorry, I burned your graveyard. Here's some play points. What is that card? Reparations? Is that what it is? Oh. El Poha, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. Hope you're having a good time. Let's all right, we only have 3 matches left to get an Aetherspark or an Aether Drift card into play meaningfully. Joe L famously plays one deck. It is blue black Omniscience Reanimator. This hand is not very good against that. I'm gonna try it. It's not gonna work, but I'm just gonna play it. All right. This hand is quite Thoughtseize proof, at least, so there is that. Interesting. It's not the card I would have expected to get Thoughtseized, but what is? Oh, Ripples of Death. Interesting. Can I get my own Thoughtseize? No. Aether is pretty good though. Lorien revealed. Okay. This could be for show and tell, maybe. I'll just put in a recruiter to the show and tell. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it'll mean anything, but that's what I'm gonna pick. Atraxa. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get a Solitude here. It's gonna do this right away before the Atraxa trigger finishes. Get rid of this, one of the Stone Forges. Alright, let's see what you got going on after this. Now there's Show and Tell and an Omniscience and a Beseech the Mirror. Looks like instant, sorcery, lands, enchantment for sure. And a Cabal Ritual. Brainstorm, Omni, Show and Tell, Flooded Strand. Okay. There we go. How about we draw Witch Enchanter? No. That's a funny one to draw, though. I am going to Stone Forge for formal wear here on the Recruiter to potentially get back the, what's it called? To get the Witch Enchanter. I would not. Joel's deck lists are pretty unique. I'm gonna leave it at that. I think he just wants. He just has a collection of combo E cards that he really likes to play, and that's the beginning and end of it. Excited to see the sideboard Kaito Bitter Blossom. Ooh boy. Good to know. I don't know if that really even changes any of my sideboarding decisions. If he does that against me, that's probably really good for me, but not anymore. Okay. All right, what's up next? Boo. That's at least something that might give me another turn, which would be good. Okay, that does not give me another turn. Yeah, Haran, who is that guy? What a weirdo. How dare he? Thank you for coming by. Only bottomed once with Limduel's Vault? That's so boring. That's even more boring. Alright. Alright, what do I want to bring in here? Containment Priest, Therapy, Disruptor Flute. That might be it, actually. I feel like that's good enough. I think I just cut 4 swords. Maybe there's a better card to cut. Probably don't really want White Orchid Phantom. I'm guessing it's a basic island basis swap deck. Maybe I trim like the orchids trim, cut the orchids trim 1 swords. I want like some number to get through Atraxa, but not that many. There's other cards I would like to cut, but I just don't have that many cards for this matchup. I could bring in Mindbreak Trap for the Omniscience turns potentially. Maybe like an Emperor and other swords, something like that. Deviated Septum 23. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, let's go with that. Sorry, this one's not on my sideboard guide. This doesn't really feel real. No. Well, this is the same thing but worse. He's also going to 6, so I'm going to 5. It's the same hand again, but I'll keep it this time. I'm bottoming 1 land. I feel like I have to bottom 2 lands, but I don't know which one. I feel like I want Wasteland more than I want Caracas. The other possibility is bottoming the Solitude. I'm going to try bottoming the Solitude. Far from confident about this one. I'm going to start on the Wastelands. Yeah, that really was like the same hand 3 times in a row. It just kept being the same thing, but I have 2 fewer cards. Definitely do not want White Orchid Phantom against the Prismatic Vista deck, so I at least got that part right. Chrome Mox pitches a Ponder. Blue. Interesting. Sure, deck. I guess I should have bottomed the Wasteland instead. Let me run this. Beginning of first main phase, mill 3, you may pay 1/3 life. Yeah, okay. Do I want to Surveil or do I want to cast Bowmasters? I think I want to Surveil here because I can put Bowmasters into play with the Aether Vial, and I just really need my next draw to not be dead. I didn't mean to. I was close to keeping that on top, but I really wanted to think about it more, but I guess it's on top now. Apparently a right click accidentally will also keep that on top. Now you know. Thoughtseize and 2 Cabal Rituals. Please take the Thoughtseize. Damn. Took one of the rituals. I did not want that to happen. Still passing. Interesting. Alright, that's kind of what I was looking for. Let's go to attacks. Sure. Okay, sure. So his hand is Cabal Therapy, 2 other cards. Or not Cabal Therapy, Cabal Ritual. But what would he need Cabal Ritual for that he didn't cast last turn? Is he like hard casting Archon or something? Okay. Very weird. Pretty tempted to Emperor Bones the Skyclave to hit the Chrome Mox. And then I can waste the Undercity Sewers, kind of take 2 mana away. Could be for Beseech. Yeah, that is possible. I think if that were true, he would have done it this turn, though. But I guess I don't know what he can Beseech for off of with no other cards in hand. I'm not even sure what the Beseech is for yet. But yeah, I think I like going for this. Deal. It is a new illusion token, but I don't know what makes it. I think it's new as of the last set, maybe? Maybe as a Jumpstart? I don't remember for sure. Or not Jumpstart, Foundations. I don't think it's new as of I don't think it is new as of Aethersdrift. I could be wrong about that though. Alright, let's get more stuff out of their yard so that Cabal Ritual doesn't make too much mana. Put down to 2. Haven't done this in a while. Do you think Putt Convertible Vehicle is going to be playable? Very well timed for Aethersdrift, but I'm guessing that was intentional. You know, I also think the crew effect is solid. I wish it just didn't require as much power to crew. You know, I feel like it requires a little too much, but who knows? Maybe in combination with the Aetherspark, we'll get there. I just remember the thing that he besieges into is the One Ring. It doesn't combo by itself, obviously, but it does something. Disruptor Flute and Mindbreak Trap are both pretty good against the half of the deck that I'm most afraid of. Plus I have Aether Vial. I wish I had creatures other than Wisp, but I also have Caracas and I get to Surveil. I think this hand works, honestly. It's definitely pretty clunky, but I think it's good against the parts of his deck that I am most afraid of, which is getting Omniscienced, basically. I can Flute on Show and Tell, and I can Mindbreak Trap on the Omniscience turn. Now I can only do one of those two things, but... Not Aether Vial. That's a bummer. This Ripples card again. What is up with that? I guess we're just doing both the animals as leader songs into each other. That's fun. I do need more lands, so I think I'm fine keeping that. Casting Stoneforge. I don't know what for. Maybe I was supposed to just Flute, Show, and Tell, but that seems kind of loose. I think I'm just getting Cauldra. Yeah. A little interesting to get the Aetherspark, but I don't think that's super real here. I think I'm as likely to be happy spending 4 mana on the Aetherspark as I am to be casting Cauldra for 7 mana in this matchup, which is close to never. Takes the island off the Ripples. That's fine by me. A needle on Stoneforge. That's rude. Honestly, probably kind of happy for that to be one of the cards that's in your hand, if I'm going to be totally honest. I think I gotta get one of these Wisps into play. I'm just going to Wisp my Surveil land here, I think. I'm going to be able to get to the late game of Wisp the Needle Activate Stoneforge. I think that's honestly pretty likely here. Force on the Wisp. Okay, that was a throwaway. Underground Sea, Scalding Tarn, Dark Ritual. I think forcing the Wisp there is probably an indication that his hand right now is, like, really bad. Jesus, Dark Ritual. Okay. card on top. What a Thoughtseize or something here would be nice. Skyclave's pretty good too. Do I want to Skyclave the Ripples or the Needle? Probably the Ripple. Like, he can't kill me yet. I feel like it's only going to get worse, so... I should say, I think I should not let him dig for whatever he needs to kill me here. So I think I'm supposed to get the Ripple. The only like sort of enticing thing about the Ripples is that it costs life to do anything with it, but I'm sure as soon as I say that, I'm gonna let him keep it. It's gonna pay 3 and then find exactly what he needs and kill me. So okay, Mindbreak Trap is online. Is this a concession? It feels like a concession, sort of. Ooh. No. There's no cards to exile. Oh well. Lands? Land to kill him? Not quite kill him. Get him to 1. That, you know, good enough. I'm not even sure that this is better than, like, Disruptor Flute on the 1 ring, for example, but... Alright. 3-0 with Aetherspark cards, having put them into play 0 times. Sorry. I put Ketramose into play once. It was not able to attack, nor did it synergize with any cards in play. No. Yes. This is better. I bought him one of the Wisps. Alright, what's going on over there, opponent? Oh, Delver. Looks like Grixis Delver. I'm going to take their Ponder, and their hand doesn't do anything. Okay, you got it. Since their hand still doesn't do anything, I'm just going to play my Surveil here instead of Thoughtseizing again. It's kind of an annoying card to be on top because if they top deck another Wastelands, my Arid Mesa can't get another can't get an untapped black source. I think I bought him. I think I bin this, but it's not the card I wanted to see. I think I would have been happy to bin like basically any other land, but specifically Scrubland was a little rough. Okay, that makes me feel a little better about binning. Alright, so there is one card we don't know about. I'm not a Force of Will. I'm just going to take this Murktide. Of course they draw a Delver right away. Alright, let's see. Got plenty of ways to deal with that. I didn't really want this on top, though. I have to bin that, too, and it's another card that I would rather have in my deck, honestly. Interesting. I'm going to cast a Wisp. They might force this. I think they're more likely to let it resolve and just Molten Collapse it, but I'm kind of happy to get the Molten Collapse out of their hand that way and get another Surveil trigger, so. I would love a Recruiter, thank you. Definitely had a bit of a low life total from those Thought Seizes, so hopefully this Delver doesn't flip. It doesn't, cool. Yes? What? Hello? Taking that trade every day of the week, are you kidding me? What do I want here? I'm thinking Skyclave. Skyclave and Emperor are both kind of enticing. I could also just get a Stoneforge Mystic. I would feel much better about getting Stoneforge if Phantom Blade was still in my deck. I think Stoneforge for formal wear is pretty good here, though. Yeah, I'm gonna go Stoneforge. Another Delver, you got it. Interesting. As much as another 2 life is a little rough, I kind of like taking the Force, so my Stoneforge definitely resolves, because if I get formal wear, this game's like kind of over. Yeah, I'm gonna Thoughtseize. Take a Force, leave them a Force and Molten Collapse. Play Stoneforge, get formal wear. I have 2 different blockers in play for this Delver. They don't really want to Molten Collapse either of them because I have Formal Wear. Hopefully the Delver doesn't flip again. That would be cool. Delver is just the worst card in Delver. This is a Murktide. Looks like a Murktide. So if we draw a land, we could play Ketramose, Formal Wear, Wisp the Murktide. It would reset it, and we would draw a card. I keep a Ponder in there for some reason. We definitely take a little bit of damage here, which I'm not in love with, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Ketramose can almost attack, though, which is pretty cool. I don't even really have to reset the Murktide, do I? I guess I kind of do, because so the 5/3, I could just recruit for Solitude instead. I'm probably supposed to do that, huh? So we're going to take 1 from the Ketramose, go down to 9. If they flip Delver, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage, which would put me down to 2 because they can Molten Collapse the Wisp. We would then be able to Solitude, but that would only get us to the 6th exiled card. Although I guess that if we draw a white card to pitch to the Solitude instead, that would get us to 7. Yeah, I think we're supposed to do this. If we draw a white card now, then we can just Solitude the Murktide before it even gets to attack, which is also great. And I mean, what am I talking about? The Delver's not going to flip. Delver never flips anymore. Yeah, true. Yoran can be the white card we buy here to get up to 7 exiled cards. Telling you, Delver never flips anymore. Alright, they're just over it. Cool. Alright, bring in Paths. Not an Aetherspark matchup. And they have the basic islands, but I think I still want White Orchid Phantoms in my deck in general. Alright, Cauldron. There we go. That was easy. Cool. This hand is not great. It has a lot of mana, it has a path, but it's not really what I'm looking for here. This hand doesn't look much better, but I think it's better. Would I rather have a second vial or a third land? Or do I just bottom the Ketramose? Because this hand does not really use Ketramose like at all yet. I think I bottom the Ketramose here. Paint shouldn't be so expensive. I know. Are you painting? What are you painting? Are you painting like miniatures or something else? I just say because I have painted many a mini in my day, and I have. You want to do watercolor? Okay, that's cool. I was gonna do a mini painting joke, but I don't know if anybody would get it here. I'm gonna run out the Caracas. No, I'm gonna run out the Wasteland first. If you're out there and you would get the joke, it was gonna be about Null Oil. Shopping for new watercolors. And what do you want? $90? What? That's dumb. That's too much. Okay, that's a lot of dudes. Alright, you didn't have days before, so please don't have days again. So they have artifact land. Yeah, I was trying to determine whether I'm supposed to kill a DRC or a Delver, but I'm pretty sure I have to kill the DRC. Delvers never flip anyway. Come on. Never mind, it's getting forced. We're super dead. We are toast. Oh my, Delvers never flip, I'm telling you. Oh my god. Okay, they found a sorcery, DRC is online. Ugh, Wasteland's really bad. Also, they were probably better off using that bauble to make sure their Delvers flipped than using it to turn the DRC online, but I'm not going to complain about that. Oh my god. This is like 9 straight turns of Delvers not flipping. I'm telling you, this card sucks. They didn't even... Oh my god. If we had a card that read white 1/1 during your upkeep, scry 1, the card stays on top unless you crack a fetch land, would we play it? Oh, oh, right, okay. Sorry, it took me a second to get the joke. I am going to recruit for a Skyclave here, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to recruit for a Skyclave on this upcoming turn. If the Delvers don't flip, then, which obviously they're not going to, Then I'm going to wisp a DRC in, or sorry, if the Delvers don't flip, I'm going to Skyclave a DRC. If they did flip, I was going to be forced to wisp instead. But here I get to Skyclave a DRC next turn with the Vile trigger on the stack, wisp the Skyclave to eat the other DRC, and then I have a blocker in play for one of the two Delvers. Not that they'll ever flip. Alright, this is kind of crazy, to be totally honest. Okay, yeah, this one ticks up with this trigger on the stack. Wisp the Sky. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to do this. Ugh. A really annoying card to draw, honestly. Now I'm sort of torn between putting Yorion in my hand here versus wasting the Volcanic Island so they can't bolt me at all. I think I'm supposed to put Yorion in my hand, though. Especially with all these dumb creatures in play. I think there's a lot of risk associated with not using my 3 mana to put Yorion in play while I still can. I'm telling you! But yeah, about that white 1-drop, I don't think I would play it personally. They declared casting a spell and then rolled it back. Alright, I'm taking this trade. Oh, they're Murktiding. Okay. That is fine by me. If I can draw a white card, this game is extremely over. Hey, it's a white card. That's a really funny white card to play. There are probably some really cool things that we could do with Ketramose here. I am sorry that we are going to be doing none of those and instead completely demolish my opponent because I don't want to lose. I'm sorry for being so boring. Oh no, my opponent's clicking the draw a card button. All right, let's finish this up. This person has a Karn profile picture, or Karn avatar. I don't like that. If we can beat round 5 Doomsday, does that mean that Ketramose is the truth? Yes. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. It's okay. It's the bad card. That's a good point. I don't know. Artie Mac. Artie. Yeah, yeah. It's a city. It's see. Oh, it could be Moon. I can deal with Moon. Yeah, it's Moon. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay. What has Aetherspark done so far? It has not entered play. I think I don't really mind using a White Orchid Phantom here. Um, Means that if my opponent wants to cast a 4-drop next turn, they'll need... So right now they could cast a 4-drop off of any land or any mana source, basically. If I White Orchid their City of Traders, it has to be off of another soul land. It also puts a 2/2 first striker in play that can just block the Goblin Shaman token, so that's nice too. The other possibility, honestly, is turning our scrub land into a basic, but I don't think that's real. I think if we didn't already have a basic, I'd be more inclined to do that, but... They don't use Fable at all. That's kind of terrifying, actually. Alright, see. Simian Spirit Guide to cast the One Ring. I'm not happy about it, but I can at least live with it. Can I draw a land to... No, I cannot draw a land to Skyclave with the One Ring. That would be too easy. Yeah, we have our own One Ring, of course. This Magus is a little bit annoying. It turns off like a couple of our cards basically, but I think the problem is that if we don't draw a land next turn and we don't kill the reflection, then the game is over. So I think we're supposed to just live with the Magus and kill the reflection for now. Recruiter fixes most of our problems. We just need to draw any other lands. Even a Surveil land works here because it'll come into play untapped. Okay. I could kill this Magus now to cast a Thoughtseize. That feels kind of meaningless into a One Ring. I think I would honestly rather hold the Solitude for when they cast something that matters. Will Ring stay legal in Legacy forever? I hope not. That's all I got. I think it's a little bit deep in the list of, in the pretty long list of sins that you can commit in Legacy right now. Yeah, I think I just gotta hold the Solitude as much as it sucks to still not be making any progress. Oh, it's definitely in the top 10. I would probably argue it's in the top 5. How the new cards been? Non-existent. I have drawn. This is the first time Aetherspark has been in my hand, I think. Um, Ketramose has come into play once, and then my opponent scooped for completely unrelated to Ketramose reasons. It came into play to draw me one card in a board state where I was mostly winning anyway, and then it's also been pitched to a Solitude. That's about it. Is this a Chalice on 2? No, it is a Chalice on 2. Wild. That's not what I would spend my mana on right here, but I guess. Can I draw a basic Planeswalker? Would be cool. That would be nice. But I'll really take any... Oh my god, please. They picked the wrong number to put this Chalice on. They put it on 3 and I'm cooked. I guess they can't put it on 3 because that's what all their cards cost, but I mean, they can kill me with only 4 drops, let's be real. Pitching a Fable, just cast that Fable. Hello? Okay. It's funny that this Pyroglaive is a 2/3 right now. Yeah, you got it. Okay, they have another Fable. Okay, I think we can safely say this game's over, but I'm going to draw one more card. Perfect. Right on time. Anyway, let's bring in these cards. Let's cut these White Orchid Faints. I guess we'll call the Bowmasters first. And then one more White Orchid. Yeah, that looks fine. This honestly could be a good Ketramose matchup. Containment Priest, again, is good against Fable. Better than either of the other 2 drops that I'm cutting. It's because all of... because basically all of Moonstompy's removal is sorcery speed, I've stifled like a dozen Fable Chapter 3s with Containment Priest, I think, in my life. It happens a lot. I'm actually going to bring in a White Orchid over a Cauldron. I don't really want Aetherspark either, but I think I'd rather have a spell I can cast off of any of my mana through a Blood Moon rather than a Bowmaster. Yeah, I keep this. See, it's actually not that bad. It looks worse at first. So Kenzin. Yeah, let's go. Ketramose is here. Am I wasting this Sokenzan? I don't think so. I just want to get my mana in play. How's the thing? Basically none of the new cards have come into play in a meaningful sense yet. If it does come into play versus Moonstompy, though, it might just kind of cook them. We'll see. Oh wow, this is an unkeepable hand on their part. I think I'm just going to cast Ketramose, and it's just going to be in play for a while. All right. It's definitely slow, but cards get exiled often enough that I think just the fact that it is a 4/4 lifelinker might be good enough a lot of times. We'll see. Yeah, sure. Um, all right, let's draw a card. Cool. That's basically what I wanted, which is just a non-Witch Enchanter land I could play. You got it. Do I? I'm like thinking of pathing this, but that's insane. So I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather my path just draw a card when I kill a broadside or whatever. Yeah, getting to white is definitely not nothing. But now we're cooking. Baby. I just remembered a song I should add to this playlist, so I'm doing that now while I'm thinking about it. Is this album right? Yeah, here we go. This song should be on this playlist. There we go. Cool. All right. Yeah, I think I've been thinking about it a little bit more. I think if they were removing my Emperor on my turn, I definitely would have passed. Because then I get the Ketramose trigger off of it too. But I think at that point, when it was my only removal spell, I think it was probably a little too greedy to use it just for the plans. My only instant speed removal spell. I mean, I know it turns on the Skyclave, and that's part of the point. Oh, certainly, yeah. Don't worry. I get that much. Maybe I wasn't supposed to block because this can die to Fury now, but I don't know how worried about that I really am. It definitely means I'm losing some value here, but... Ooh. We're doing it again, chat. Oh, I don't even know if that's right, but are they beating this anyway? Does it matter? Yeah, Ketramose and Emperor Bones are definitely friends. That's for sure. Um, this list has a lot of 3-ofs because I was kind of undecided about a lot of things. So I feel like you probably want 4 Ketramose and 4 Emperor to maximize it, but obviously you do have to account for all the times that Emperor Bones is very whatever, which unfortunately is a lot more often than it used to be. No, don't kill my Emperor. Bummer. That is mean. Never didn't have it. All right, so we just kill both things and move on. Is it really anything more complicated than that? We could. We have the opportunity to also witch enchant through the Blood Moon first. That's probably worth it, right? We go Wasteland, Caracas, Plains, Swamp, cast the Witch Enchanter, kill the Blood Moon of Plains, and Marsh Flats. Crack Marsh Flats for another Plains. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to do that just to be safe. And I want to path on my turn because of Ketramose, so... Oh boy, that could be drawing a lot of cards. Yuck. I guess I have the Skyclave for it. And the Skyclave turns on the Ketramose. Doesn't matter now, but for next turn that'll be good. What is this? Pyroglyph. No, don't do that. Is that going face? It is going face. It's a little bit scary. Alright, I don't need another one of those. So I think we're supposed to Skyclave the One Ring. And then I'm going to recruit for a Solitude. Ooh, Wastelands. I would equip the Moose if I could attack this turn, but I can't. How different is 8 mana from 6? It's enough. So this is the very first game that Ketramose has been in play and been meaningful literally at all. So we're learning. It's otherwise been pretty what... Oh my god, stop. Otherwise, literally never mattered as a card. There was one turn where I got to draw one card off of it, but my opponent was dead anyway. I think I'm just passing here. I could Phantom Blade the Pyroglyph and still hold up a pitch cast Solitude. I know, my opponent cast Wandering again. I once again still cannot gain life from it. It has only been online when my opponents had a protection from the One Ring up. Yeah, I'm gonna Phantom Blade, and then think about wasting again. 6 mana versus 5. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, double menace. I was gonna say that I think an actually good reason to wasteland is because if they could just go like soul land Pyrogoyf and kill me that way. Um, but actually, I've already answered 3 Pyroglyphs, so never mind. They cannot do that. Broadside. Now that is a card I'm happy to Solitude. Pyroglyph into unplayable card that clones something. Yeah, please don't do that. Whoa. Hello, Laelia. I didn't realize that was still floating around in the lists. All right, gaining 7 feels really good. Now let's Thoughtseize. I guess I have to fetch first. Okay, sure. Whoops. Wait, that was... Oh, no. Yeah, that was dumb. I forgot I need to leave up the Caracas for Laelia. That was silly. Honestly, can they even afford to attack with Laelia into my 7/7? Probably not. They probably have to. I just don't know what one card they could get off of the Laelia that really gets them out of it. You're right. Ketramose should have first strike too. Where's our Cauldron? Is it actually good? I don't know. This is the first game that it has been in play and done anything. It has been incredibly good this game, but a big part of that was that my opponent kept like the worst possible kind of hand that Moonstompy can keep against DNT, which is just like land go for the first 2 turns into turn 3 Blood Moon. Okay. They find a City of Traders. Okay. So this is... They could deal me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 if they wanted to. I'm just going to lower it down to the most they can deal is 6 by throwing the One Ring at me, and then I'll gain 7 in combat damage. That seems good enough to me. Getting rid of both of my recruiters potentially makes Yorion worse, but this game isn't coming down to Yorion, let's be real. They're throwing it at... Oh, they threw it at... Wait. Oh, wait, they threw it at the broadside itself. Okay. I didn't realize broadside could target itself. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen. Yeah, okay. Real question. Has anybody before this seen a broadside kill itself? All right. All right. That's definitely a first for me, at least. Well, Ketramose like soloed them last time. This hand has a basic plains and a swords in it. I'm gonna do it. Look, you're right. At least liked what Ketramose did for me in that game, even if I did not need Ketramose to win. It having lifelink was honestly really nice, given that that game took forever for me to close because of their One Ring chaining. And it is also nice that it will literally never leave. I guess they can I shouldn't say never because they can gone it, but like they have basically no real answers to Ketramose. You just play it and then it's in play. You won't always have the time to like keep it in play, obviously. That's certainly the problem, but what just happened? Okay, sure. I guess. How are they down to 7 minutes? Oh, they didn't draw any more mana. Interesting. And swamp, let's go. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna wisp the shaman token. Do that. I was gonna get the chrome mox, but I think I'd rather get the shaman token there. They'll totally die to their One Ring, right? You've got a photoshopped image of Ketcher with moose antlers. That's pretty sick. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, I really hope it does. I'm tired of playing against it. There's obviously a lot of cards I'm tired of playing against, but it's annoying how One Ring is. It feels like it is approaching the problem in Modern, where like it isn't doing any one thing in particular. It's just in everything. And it is. I just don't like 4 mana colorless spells shouldn't really be able to completely negate everything that happened in the game up to that point. Like at least Nadu asks a lot of other things to happen, but like the One Ring really doesn't. Okay, it's not a lot, but it asks more things, right? I'm not. Look, ban them both, please. But the One Ring just asks way too little for how broken it is. Damn it. We might win on clock. With this Blood Moon, I'm less sure, but I was really hoping to go Ketramose Swords, the broadside. Boring. Right on time. Um, well, that is unfortunate. I just need my opponent to do nothing except the absolute best thing they could do for me. Never mind. We are we are so dead. Oh my god. So I was hoping that if my opponent goes for just like reflection, pyroglyph, attack, or hit me for 8, attack me for another 8, I can flash and containment priest, hit them for 2, and then the One Ring kills them. I do at least get. I'm not. Or no, yeah, right. I am dead. Yeah. All right. I can't believe a Moon Stompy player of all time, of all all decks, took that long to beat me. No, that wasn't gonna do it. All right. Yeah, that was an unfortunate way for that hand to go. It was definitely pretty weak to turn 1 the One Ring, but you know what D&T hand can beat that, right? So I'm not gonna think too hard about that one. And a very annoying way to lose the trophy. All right, what do I think? Ketramose definitely didn't do a whole lot. It was really cool against Moon Stompy for sure. I'm not gonna discount that. Like, obviously, what happened specifically in that game was really only like Ketramose didn't matter because my opponent was just like not playing the video game. But I liked what it did, right? Like it didn't I could see what it was doing mattering in a game that was more close than that one. And it did, again, it did end up being somewhat close because it took me a really long time to actually close out the game when they drew all their pyroglyphs and all of that. And my life total did end up mattering a lot. How was Aetherspark? It came into play 0 times. I drew Stoneforge like once the entire league. And the only time I drew the Aetherspark was in a hand that was stuck on 2 lands for forever. That's also the answer to Childless question. The deck list is in the Stream Decker. You can type ! Deck list, I think. You can also open up the Stream Decker. Should be a button over here somewhere on the stream. I'm not running it back, child. I don't do that anymore. I go to sleep at a normal time now. Honestly, I'd probably just try running this list back. It mostly felt good. I just have to, draw the cool cards. How many times did I draw Ketramose when Wisp would be better? That's a good question. I think it was pretty close to 0, I think. It didn't matter in that game. I drew it against. Let's see. I didn't draw it in this match at all. In this match, this is the match where I played a Ketramose in game 1 after thoughts using my opponent's reanimate, and then they just died. Ketramose did nothing. Wisp would have theoretically been better, but neither would have been very good. I think I drew a Ketramose against Joe at some point. I think it got Force of Willed. I don't think that it was really important either way. It was basically the same deal here. There was the one time I put Ketramose into play, I did get to draw a card. It maybe would have been better as a Wisp, but I had pretty much already won the game anyway. And then the other time I drew it, it got pitched to a Solitude, and Wisp would have also gotten pitched to a Solitude. So At least in that framing, I think I can say that Ketramose and Wisp would not have been meaningfully different in these games that we played. You know, you might be right. Maybe the spirit of Ketramose kept my opponent's Delvers from flipping for. I want. I'm not going to. If you're on YouTube watching this, can you please go back and count how many turns my opponent's Delvers didn't flip over that whole match? Because it's close to like 15, right? Maybe that's an exaggeration, but it's 12 maybe. Yeah, it was like 9 in one game alone. I just don't remember how many turns the Delvers were in play in the first game. But in the second one, they were in play from turn 2 until like turn 9 or 10, and they didn't flip. So yeah, I don't know. That was embarrassing. Delver's just the worst card in Delver. I don't know. It is astounding how, like, thinking back to like the rug, like not like thinking back to 2013 Rug Delver. That deck was half spells because that is what it took for Delver to flip consistently. It feels like at some point we lost our way and just thought that like you can get away with putting Delver in a deck with like 20 spells and it'll be fine, and it just doesn't work. That doesn't count. I don't know. I feel like ever since it was in like 2018-ish, I think, that there was a blue white Delver Blade deck that was getting popular for some reason. I don't know why. It was horrible, but I remember like the same deal. It's just like Stoneforge requires you to put like 3 extra non spells into your deck to flip your Delver. I don't know how anybody thought that this deck construction would work. Like literally the only way you really win is like getting lucky or forcing yourself to blow your cantrips early just to flip Delver. Even on, like, you have to keep bad cards there because like I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, that deck was a truly an abomination. I just, if there's two cards, like I think this one point probably gets overdone a little bit. Strass Daddy, what's up? How's it going, everybody? Thanks for the raid. I just finished my league way earlier than I usually do, so I'm just talking now, but we'll find someone else. But yeah, like I think Swords and Delver probably should not be in the same deck, but I think you could make the argument that a deck with both of them in it is good. The thing that really bothers me is the idea of putting Daze in or putting Stoneforge in a Daze deck. Like, I don't know how you're like supposed to like get your Stoneforge to do what it needs to do against like any reasonable amount of interaction if you're expecting to have to pick up your Daze after casting your 2-drop that also needs 2 more mana for you to put a thing into play. I think Stoneforge in a Daze deck was justifiable when that deck was allowed to also contain Deathrite Shaman. Yes, I agree with that. I don't think I ever saw that though. Like I think part of the problem is that like when you were playing Deathrite, Daze became a lot worse, so a lot of people just weren't playing it unless you were playing literal Delver. Bant Stoneblade makes a little bit more sense to me for that reason, but even then, I don't know. Just play Stoneforge in like back then, even like Stoneforge Mystic was like a hard card to fit in decks that weren't D&T, but like you can just play I don't know, any other deck. Yeah, I just don't know what draws people to put Stoneforge, Mystic, and Delver of Secrets into the same deck. Those two cards ask very different things of what your deck should look like. So Anyway, I'll go back. Oh, hello, Divinity Original Sin. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is still worth trying out. Hot take is I don't think there's been a single point during your entire time playing Legacy where Stoneforge has been genuinely good outside of D&T. When did you start playing? When did you start playing Legacy? The Planeswalker is the Aetherspark. I'll let you read that. 2016. I think there was exactly 1 point since then. The actual, yeah, what Lackey's referring to, the actual blue-white Stoneblade, not Delver deck that was played in 2018 was actually good. I think there I think the only other example, I don't even want, like, I know that there was an Esper Stoneblade deck that was floating around before Frog got banned, but I think that deck being good had a lot more to do with Frog than it did with Stoneforge. I think it's just the only time I can even think of like another Stoneforge deck looking good to me, even if it was definitely not good. So yeah, that blue-white blade deck was very annoying. I remember in a SCG Classic, I think I played against. I think it was like X and 1 going into my win, and I played against that deck, and it was a time that I was playing a single main deck Council's Judgment and +2 more in the board because of how much True Name was around. My opponent goes. I think if I remember right, my opponent had 3 True Names, and I had my 3 Council's Judgments, but they had a Force of Will to protect it the last time. It was very annoying. Never call a deck Stoneblade without GTA. I think that's probably fair. Unfortunately, that will never be true ever again, probably. I still play GTA every now and then, but unfortunately, I don't think any non-D&T deck will ever play GTA again. All right, I think that's gonna do it, gang. Let me see. Is anybody any legacy streamers right now? Let's see. I've had good luck lately, but it looks like that Mr. Strassman might have been the last one, unfortunately. What would it take for Thalia to end up back in the deck? I really don't know. Power creeping it is probably really the only answer. I mean, to be clear, I don't think that White Orchid Phantom is like that much better than Thalia. I think White Orchid Phantom, Thalia, and Spirit of the Labyrinth all feel kind of bad. White Orchid Phantom just feels the least bad, generally speaking. So, I don't know if that helps, but I hope we get that. I hope that when they finally print a new Thalia, it's been almost a decade, it's going to be 1 mana, and it's going to be only good in D&T, and it's going to be sick. So here's the thing. If it's better in Delver, that's fine. Delver's a good matchup, and every time Delver has played a 1-drop that's a legendary creature, the like our win rate in that matchup skyrockets. That's fine. If Delver gets it, honestly, whatever. As long as we still get it. All right. I think I should be done shooting the shit. I should get to bed. Thank you, everybody. Oh my god, I did this again. Anyway, Divinity Original Sin 2 is a really good game. You should play it if you haven't. Anyway, I'm out of here. Unfortunately, no one to raid, so I'm just gonna call it. I forgot to do a couple announcements. I posted an update to my sideboard guide just a couple days ago. Obviously kind of awkward with the release of Aetherspark, but it's going to be a while before I think I recommend any of these cards in your deck on average. But that's on my Patreon. You can type !sideboard guide to get a link to that. Available through my Patreon at the $5 tier, blah, blah, blah. If you're new, I stream D&T and Legacy every Thursday and Sunday starting around 8:30 Eastern. If you want to catch more of my stuff, I have a YouTube channel with a whole bunch of odds. I think there was a announcement that came by. It's at Akaleth MTG is the YouTube channel if you want to catch my VODs. Follow me on Blue Sky at Akaleth there. I think that's pretty much everything I'm going to do. I should get out of here before I run out of breath. So let me go ahead and say good night. Thanks for hanging out.